Jennifer Aniston with her parents in the 1970s. Muhammad Ali and Michael Jackson, 1977. The photo was taken over 60 years ago and we're still dealing with the same struggles. This is a homemade four-wheeler. It's from England, sometime in the 70s or 80s. A woman's in traditional costume. This is Russia in the 1890s. Rabbits were used for pharmaceutical testing in a laboratory during the 1950s. The winner of the 1945 Miss America pageant, 21-year-old Bess Meyerson of New York City. The Cadillac Eldorado Brougham, 1955. The car was designed to be the most expensive, super luxurious car with unique trim and maximum equipment. Its prototype was shown at the 1955 Motorama exhibition. Italian dictator Benito Mussolini is riding in a car with his pet lion, Ras, in 1925. The total solar eclipse happened on July 11, 1991 in Chiapas, Mexico. A bordei, or burdei, is a small dugout-type house built half into the ground. These were very common in the mountains and steppes of Eastern Europe. The picture was taken in Hungary in 1976. Rita Hayworth in the 1940s. A portrait of Bardo from 1957. Brazilian President Lula with his family in 1978. The ultra-light 1.7-metre Mapetta tricycle weighed just 78 kilograms when ready to use. Dolly Parton entertained the troops in 1991. David Beckham and Victoria Beckham, late 1990s. Claudia Schiffer, Palmdale, California, 1992. Antoine Dubuclet Jr., a wealthy black sugar planter, served as Louisiana's first black treasurer. He enslaved over 100 people on his sugarcane plantations. Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones were both born on September 25th. They've been married for 25 years. That was in 1999. A Soviet mother is sheltering her child during German shelling in Krasnaya Sloboda. This happened in August 1941. Hermann Rorschach. He was a famous Swiss psychiatrist and the person behind the Rorschach test. There was a group of ravers from the 90s. Lana Del Rey, 1998. On September 1st, 1939, Germany invaded Poland. 2 days later, on September 3rd, Britain and France declared war on Germany, marking the official start of World War II. It's a scene from the Warsaw Ghetto. People are wearing white armlets that have the Star of David on them. There are trams, and they're marked with the words, "For Jews Only." The date is February 17th, 1941. Beastie Boys, photographed by David LaChapelle in 1994. Susanna Hoffs, 1986. Newsgirls are walking down the street in Hartford, Connecticut. The youngest girl, who's in the centre, has been selling newspapers for 2 years. This was in March of 1909. A Boy with a Dog, in Central Park, New York in 1950. Aishwarya Rai, a Bollywood actress and Miss World 1994. Angelina Jolie in 1997 at the premiere of Playing God. School children from the Frunz Palace of Pioneers, who were studying in a technical creativity club, are with their robot. This was in the Kyrgyz Soviet Socialist Republic in 1965. The Irish musician and singer-songwriter Dolores O'Riordan of the Cranberries posed for a photo for Interview magazine around 1995. The mascot of the USS Pennsylvania is amusing some of the sailors. This happened in 1917 to 1918. In 1966, a man carried rifles up the University of Texas Tower and opened fire on people below. Mental patients are participating in dance therapy in a New York State asylum, United States in 1922. Amy Adams' Senior Yearbook Photo 1992. Alain Delon in Beijing, China, 1987. It's Morgan Freeman from 1971. Jessica Lange, 1976. Daryl Hannah and Alexandra Paul from the 80s. Tara Reid in the mid-90s. Tupac Shakur around 1992. The formal surrender ceremony of Japan happened aboard the USS Missouri in Tokyo Bay on September 2, 1945. It marked the official end of World War II. The first electrocardiograph was introduced by Cambridge Scientific Instruments. Alright, so we're talking about the Backstreet Boys and the Spice Girls from 1996. American soldiers camp in the courtyard of China's Forbidden City after United States and Allied forces occupied Peking, or Beijing, during the Boxer Rebellion. It was sometime between 1900 and 1901. Elvis Presley and a Karate G from 1974. Vin Diesel during the early 1990s. Jack Nicholson gives the camera a thumbs up at the Carlisle, New York, 1985. A coffee machine from 1947. Natalie Wood and Michael Caine in 1966. Meryl Streep at 30 years old in 1979. Lucy Lawless for Esquire magazine, August 1997. A second-hand dealer and stamp collector in Bratislava around 1935 to 1938. Naomi Campbell, the 1990s. There's a mass demonstration in Clerkenwell Green. It's in front of Karl Marx's house, which became the Communist Party's headquarters in London in 1942. An organist entertains first-class passengers on an airplane in 1959. American racer Fred Marriott with the Stanley Rocket, Ormond Beach, Florida, 1906. Sybil Danning in the 1980s. A woman in Berlin, Germany is using a coin-operated device to buy a clock. The time is the 1960s. Students publicly humiliated their teachers for being anti-revolutionary during the Chinese Cultural Revolution, from 1967 to 1972. French actors Josette Day and Jean Marais are on the set of Beauty and the Beast. The film was written and directed by Jean Cocteau. This photo is from the film set from 1946. Frank Little. He was an organizer for the Industrial Workers of the World. The Sears catalogue used to be assembled by hand in the 1940s. Its mail-order business was revolutionary, but it relied on thousands of clerks, printers and warehouse workers to keep it running. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in the centre is leading a group of civil rights workers and black people from Selma in prayer on February 1st, 1965 in Selma, Alabama. This was after they were arrested on charges of parading without a permit. In the 1980s, New York City, Adidas with fat laces were popular in early hip-hop fashion. Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise at a red carpet event in the 1990s. It's a Japanese propaganda magazine. The cover of the manga magazine is from August 1943. It has a caricature of Franklin Delano Roosevelt on it. This is Estonian engineer Uno Porti with his hydrocopter, and they're in Viljandi. This was in Livonia Governorate, which was part of the Russian Empire back in 1912. Bardia, a fortified Libyan seaport, was captured by British forces with more than 38,000 Italian prisoners. An endless stream of Italian prisoners leaves Bardia on February 5th, 1941, after the Australians had taken possession. 1969, New York City. A group of protesters are holding signs and marching down the street. There's a banner that reads "Peace Now." Some people are holding up peace signs. The crowd appears to be diverse in age and background. There are also police officers present observing the protest. Circus elephants, many of them, and Kiri were clearing rubble in Hamburg after World War II in 1945. Folks are watching a solar eclipse from a rooftop. This happened in Rotterdam, Netherlands in 1912. It looks like there's a friendly exchange between Soviet troops on a BTR and two Afghan kids on a donkey. It's happening as their convoy passes down the highway in Afghanistan, sometime in the 1980s. A Murray chief is holding a taiaha. Rollie Free is getting ready to break the motorcycle speed record on the Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah in 1948. There were posters of Mao Zedong, Ho Chi Minh, and Georgy Malenkov hanging on a wall in Hanoi after the communist takeover of the city. It was late 1954. Van Besten painted in his garden in 1912. Okay, so we've got actors Kurt Russell, Goldie Hawn and Wyatt Horn Russell hanging out in the LA Kings locker room, and also Ronald Reagan. This was sometime in the 1980s. German soldiers are pushing a pair of dummy tanks. It's 1925. The radio telescope, TNA 1500, built in 1984 in the Russian Soviet Socialist Republic. Tippi Hedren photographed with one of the pet tigers that lived with her in her home in California, 1982. The Los Angeles riots, May 3, 1992. The US Marine guards a supermarket in Compton. German SS personnel at Majdanek extermination camp are holding containers of Zyklon B used in the camp's gas chambers. This happened in July of 1944. A little girl is showing a huge fish to 3 cats. It was in New South Wales in 1936. In 1926, Toastmaster introduced the pop-up toaster to the American consumer market. What made this toaster different was its use of a clock mechanism as a timer for toasting. Joe Strummer of The Clash, 1978. A breathtaking 1913 view of London shows a workman standing high above Tower Bridge on a narrow gantry, fearlessly working without a trace of safety equipment. Nicole Kidman and Kate Winslet, 1996. David Bowie, American musicians Paul Simon and Arthur Garfunkel, Yoko Ono, John Lennon and Roberta Flack were at the Grammy Awards in 1975. In the Dardanelles, the Allied fleet blows up a disabled ship that interfered with navigation. World War I. Sofia Vergara, 1995. (1968) Tokyo Street Dancing. This photo, taken from a British warplane during the assault of Tobruk, shows the Italian cruiser San Giorgio. It's burning amidships in the harbour of Tobruk on February 18th, 1941. Elizabeth Montgomery and Julie Newmar on the set of Bewitched in 1971. Julie Newmar, 1960. Sorting parcels for foreign mail, 1915. A taxi was crushed by a tank during the popular unrest in Baku on the night of January 20th, 1990. Members of the Ku Klux Klan prepare to fly to distribute their propaganda leaflets. That was in March 1922. The Crawlers, 1877. The Crawlers were the poorest of the British. This elderly widow is sitting outside a tailor's shop holding a baby while its mother works. She was given a cup of tea and a slice of bread daily in return. Newspaper sellers on seat sticks in Berlin, Germany, 1927. Jane Fonda, 1967, from the Barbarella movie. Neve Campbell, 1996. There was a replica of the mushroom cloud carried through the streets of Tokyo as a protest against the British planned hydrogen bomb test bombings. This happened on May 1st, 1957. It's just another night in the 70s, crop top, flare jeans, a cold drink by the TV, no better vibe. Miss World 1970, Jennifer Hoston. The Colorado Cannibal. There's a photo of Alfred Packer during his trial. The picture was taken in 1886. In 1992, there was an advertisement for the Creature from the Black Lagoon pinball machine. It was by Bally Games. A Douglas SBD production line, 1943. This is a portrait of Porfirio Diaz, the Mexican dictator. He ruled Mexico for more than 3 decades, across 3 presidencies. Despite promising not to seek re-election, Diaz served 7 terms. He was overthrown the next year during the Mexican Revolution. Hollywood legend Jane Mansfield, the 1950s. Margaret Gibb, a conjoined twin, is kissing her boyfriend while her sister Mary watches in the 1940s. The Doors frontman faced arrests from New Haven to Miami, where his 1969 case made headlines. The Great Chicago Fire. Men stand amid the rubble at LaSalle Street in Washington, 1871. Marissa Tomei looking gorgeous in 1993. The 42nd President of the United States, Bill Clinton, and Hillary Clinton are playing with their cat, Socks, on the lawn in front of the White House in 1997. Keith Richards and Patty Hansen's wedding, Baja, Mexico in 1983. Jewish youth are dancing Circassia. It's a dance genre from the Caucasus, adopted by Jewish pioneers and brought to Palestine. This took place in Werkdorp Nieuwersluis, Wieringermeer, Netherlands, around 1938. Sandahl Bergman as Conan the Barbarian, 1982.